day. We're going to be heading towards a place called Shepherd Hill today. It's probably about 4 hours, I'm thinking, to do that. It's very hilly, it's lumpy, nice route, going through a town called Willis, Texas. Should be interesting. I will get some clips for y'all.
On this ride, I left Northampton, rode into the woodlands. Had a bit of extra time, so I took the long way there. Picked up the group at the Alden Village Center. We headed out on Research Forest, all the way to Egypt Lane. Then we took Honea-Egypt straight out to 2854. When we got to Honea, we took 2854 West, Old Sapp Road 105, to Longmire Road, a lot of hills there. All of that's on camera. We stopped at a store after Longmire, and then we're off camera. We went into Willis, took the roundabout to Shepherd Hill. We stopped at the boathouse. And then after that, I pulled a pin on the hill coming to 45 because they're just hammering too much, and I needed to back off and enjoy the rest of my ride and go on with my day. So I came back, stopped at Taco in Montgomery, got a drink, and headed back mill route straight on Honea and backtracked directly on Honea into the woodlands. It was a very, very spirited ride, but it felt like more of a bike race style kind of ride. So hope you like the clips we put together for you.
Hey everybody, here.
We're at the Alden Village Center in the Woodlands, Texas.
They've kind of lost.
You can see the sun is just coming out.
Yeah, I heard rumors.
6:31.
Okay.
The sun's barely out. The days are shorter. It's still hot in Central Texas. Triple digits for the high. 41, 42 Celsius. Yeah, we waited about a minute for Abby. He's showing up.
My brother!
On the left.
My brother!
This is always family ride.
Yeah.
Abby rides to the right from his home. Probably gets up early, rides at least an hour before he comes out. The picture will clear up once the sun comes up. This camera is set for. It's not great in low light. It's set for a super wide view.
There's a 2P on there. That was the London to Paris. Little thing that they were.
Right.
London to Paris thing that they had did.
I'm ahead, riding with Dan Jaworski, and I think Mike Bradbury. That's probably all lights you see up there.
Clear.
So what ends up happening on this ride is we had a lot of riders that showed up that are not part of our group. And when they show up, they want to hijack the ride, basically. They don't try to see what we're doing. They just do their thing. So for me,
I
follow them for as long as it works for me.
This is a long ride.
And when I get tired, I just pull the pin and continue to do my ride.
Well, a long ride, it depends on what kind of ride.
That's
really
Irwin.
see it's going to be interesting.
They're hammering like crazy for 80 nowadays. Well, I know it's just normally, but back off anyway.
So what Irwin is saying is that, yeah, it's a long ride, but he's saying what kind of ride? Because a lot of riders are not cognizant of the fact that they're supposed to ride together. They show up with an adversarial relationship. They act like they're at a road race, and all they're doing is to see how many people they can drop. They're not really coming to ride with you. Like I've said before, it's a big show. So you gotta have to know. So the thing is that, and that's what kills the groups in our area, because there's no camaraderie. People just show up to show off. And it's usually the people who have very little accomplishments that are showing off. Because the people who do don't show off. So you have to know what you're doing and what the goals are for the ride.
Let's get on with them.
They're trying to ride up to us. We're up the road in a little bit. We pick up some riders that are waiting for us out here. And then Kenny has a mechanical. I think his chain, he was having trouble getting it on the large chain ring. But he sorted it out. So we waited for him a little bit. But what I was saying earlier is that there are different. It's very hard to find a group that works for you. Because everybody comes with different issues. There's a lot of drama. So what you have to pay attention to is, okay, is this group meeting your need today or at this moment? And when they fail to meet your need, you just let them go and ride by yourself or put together your own group. So for me, there are a lot of riders that would show up like today. There was a bunch of riders that showed up here. I didn't know them. And they never introduced themselves. You know, they have real crappy social skills. So I don't know them. We rode for hours, but I still don't know who they are. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing my ride. So don't let them hijack your ride. Sit on them for as long as you choose to and ride with them. But once they fail to meet your need, you let them go.
What happened? Oh.
So Kenny had a mechanical. He tried to shift. As soon as we passed him on the road, he tried to shift up to the big chain ring, and it started making noise like it wasn't quite getting there. But he was able to sort it out. So we're up there. I'm waiting. I pulled off on the shoulder. That's Abby on the left. So there are different kinds of group rides. There are groups that ride together. It's a very close-knit kind of supportive group that's different than a group that people show up trying to see how many people they can drop. That's different. So you need to know what kind of group you're riding with. And usually the latter groups don't survive too long because after a while, people don't come back, you know, and that's what kills the group. Because there are a lot of people out there that may be looking for more of a social, not meaning that you ride slow, but a group that has good vibes, as opposed to groups that you have people that hammer and then turn around to look to see what damage they've caused. There was a lot of that crap going on today. Paul had to let somebody know, some experienced rider know that, look, you've been riding long enough to not do that. Because he turned around and he caused a problem.
Mine?
Yeah, Paul has a cycle light or rear tail light, and you got to change that when you get with the group. It is very bright in the highest setting, the small cycle light. And I think it has a lot to do with the amount of lumens and just the way it lights the road. So basically, Paul chastised somebody. Paul doesn't do a lot of talking, but when it's necessary, he'll speak his mind. And he told the person, he said, "You've been riding long enough to not do that." The person stood up and then made an S while standing. Basically, the bike was a little out of control, like almost like a fishtail. Well, that creates havoc in the pace line. And there was no reason to be looking back. They were looking back to see what damage they may have caused. And that's foolishness. Ride as hard as you want, but what are you looking back to see if somebody got dropped? So Paul said there's nothing going on back here. Don't be looking back here because you're creating a hazard. You can cause a crash. He said, I want to go home in the same way I started the ride. I couldn't argue with that. You know, I heard, it was right before we got to the boathouse. We all laughed about it, but it made sense. And I say, yeah, turning around the pace line, you got to make sure that your wheel in front of you is clear. You're not close to another rider if you're going to look behind. And so a lot of riders would pull out of the line if they're going to look around or whatever. You know, you don't turn your head to the back when you're on the wheels or in the wheels. That's dangerous because things change quickly. I had problems with my wheel last week, so I changed them this week. I checked the tension on the other set of wheels that was giving me problems. And the tension on one side, these wheels got beat up. And they were all low on one side. And it caused the wheel to lose its centering or dish. So I sorted that out and hung them up. But for this ride, I put on a different set of wheels. I always have multiple wheels that are ready to be used. So as soon as they have issues, I work on them as soon as I get a chance and make sure I put them up in good condition, because you never know.
Penny! Hey, Paul. I'm good, man. How are you?
So the reason I'm talking about the different kinds of group rides out there, I've gotten a lot of communication from a lot of cyclists because of this channel that are a little leery about joining groups. There are a lot of riders that simply ride by themselves. They don't want to bother with the issues with groups. But groups have their benefit, and they can enhance your ability to ride in close proximity to other cyclists. If you're going to do what is gravel rides or gravel racing or road racing, any kind of mass start event, you got to practice riding around people so you're comfortable being in close proximity to other cyclists. And then the group will push you more than you would necessarily push yourself. I mean, you have to be really disciplined to push yourself. You can do that, but the group makes it easier. So riding with the group is easier generally than solo riding. If you're disciplined, you get a great workout when you ride by yourself, and it prepares you to be able to stick your nose in the wind. But riding with the group takes the mental strain away, the mental strain of pushing yourself. That's Dan Jaworski I'm chatting with. That's Michael Bradbury on my left. Michael is one of the ones pushing the pace on this ride.
I'm burning.
So it's a good ride. I had a great workout. You know how you have a good ride and then the next day you go and you spin and your legs just feel strong? So Sunday after this ride, just took it easy. And by Monday, my legs felt really, really strong. But I stayed with my program. That's Laura right there. There's Clement Champoussin behind Paul in the middle there, and then that's Roy on the left. It's Kenny in the green, Sun and Ski Kid.
Green up.
That's it. That's what I'm here for. I got a map back. I got a phone.
Look, Dan and I are talking shop. He's telling me about issues that he's had with his brakes. The disc brakes, the noise that they make. There's a lot of humidity now. So you will hear all the brakes. They're loud, even the last couple of weeks every ride, because it's very humid. And that moisture will make them make noise, just like it does when it rains. So for me, I work on them all the time for other people, and I have no desire to buy a bike that has them on it. The mountain bikes seem to be okay with those brakes, and the cyclocross bikes. So I'm not sure if it's just the ones that make for road, but it probably varies. But just generally, I just like the idea of I have brakes on my bike that are rim brakes, and I don't have to do anything to them. Periodically I'll clean the rim, because it gets dirty. But other than that, it's like a Timex, and that's what I'm used to. So if I do get another bike, it will be a custom bike, and I'm going to tell the builder I'm putting rim brakes on there, because just like I did the orange bike when I had it built a few years ago. I can't buy off the shelf anyway, because all the bikes in my size, their seat angles are like 73 plus, 73 and a half. I can't set my saddle back far enough without getting some crazy setback seat posts. So I don't even bother. I'd have to buy a 61 frame to get a 72.5 seat tube, which is not even ideal for me. 72 is like when I used to ride the steel bikes. 72 was perfect. Now I have to slam the seat or get too crazy of a setback seat post. But that's the way the market is going. They're pushing those things, and the issues is you get these little what they call lazy pistons and different things going on that you got to hassle with. You got to clean them.
Good morning.
So I get a lot of people that bring their bikes and the piston's not going back. And they vary. Most of the time, if you just clean them, you have to know how to clean them, though. You got to get that piston out of there carefully. You know, so I usually just clean them, bleed everything, and they work. But you know, periodically, the seals need to be replaced. There's so much going on in there versus our rim brakes, which are more simple. I was talking to Mike Barreras about it at the end of this ride, and he said that he believes that the design is flawed. And he thinks, I don't know if he said they're aware of it or not, but he said they need to revamp it. It has too many issues, and they need to get it to where they're more durable. I think those seals being rubber have a shorter lifespan. I think that's part of it. I think that's what he said. And he says if you put ball bearings in there and to move the pistons around or something, then you have things that have more longevity. Makes sense to me. You know, they're not going to voluntarily do anything like that. You know, they probably handle it on a case-to-case basis. The person that screams the loudest probably gets their ear. Well, who's got time for that? We're too busy riding our bikes. So I see a lot of stuff that I work on all the time, and for me, it's like I don't have time for that. I barely have time to just jump on my bike and get my hours in. Gonna be messing with stuff like that. So I'm not going to be an adopter of one of those for quite some time until they clean it up. This is Honea-Egypt Community Road. We're on the open road. Honea-Egypt Community Road, getting out of FM 2978. Headed west. And you see the group. We're already up the road. I don't know what's going on back here. Why these guys? I'm just sitting on somebody's wheels up there. We're all turned together. As you will see on some of the clips on here, this ride was fun. I enjoyed it tremendously. So what I want to stress is when you're riding in a group, especially a group that is doing, say, a faster pace than you normally do, it is important that you always listen to yourself and know when to say, okay, I've done enough work for the day. Nothing's wrong with that. So, you know, you don't want to ride till you drop. You're not getting paid for that. You just, you know, you need to be able to go on with your day and not be wiped out when you get home from your ride. So you got to listen to yourself based on how much further do I have to go on this ride. Based on how hard we're going now, do I need to back off or are we close to the end? Those are the questions you must answer. And on this ride, when we're coming back, it got so hot, I was like, man, I better back off. And I'm glad I did. Because I had no ill effects. I slowed way down to zone 1 and rode over the bridge. So the rest of that ride coming back was like a recovery ride for me. I don't remember who was pulling. There's somebody in front of Laura. It might be Dan Jaworski. I know Laura is in second spot, second position. I'm on Laura's wheel. Whoa. Peter spent a lot of time riding with Mo's group. He rides with them a lot. That's Michael behind Peter's room. So they come over here, they sit near the front, drive the pace for hours on end. So it changes the character of the ride, but that's the thing about our ride. It depends on who shows up and the time of year. But as our group grows and we get riders that want a more sedate pace, we will split the group because I want to grow the group. I don't want it to die. You can start with the front group and decide when you want to drop off of their pace, drift back to the B and C and so forth. I figured 2 to 3 groups as this group gets bigger should be enough. We'll have everybody on the same course, but at different intervals. Yeah, it's Dan Jaworski that's pulling, and Laura is on his wheel. El Pirata, the pirate. The Purple Queen. Yeah, they came back and pulled a little piece of asphalt, and where the old asphalt meets the new one, there was a bit of a lip that was pretty significant. They smoothed it out with that little black asphalt you just saw back there. That's Dan pulling off. And Laura is taking over. Starts to go up just slightly. It's like a grade. Every time we head north, look at it. It's just up. And this is one of my favorite roads. Honea-Egypt Road. Lots of character. This road has a soul. Something about it. Mike Barreras and I were talking about it. When we're coming back, he said that he prefers this road to Fishcreek. He said Fishcreek is wide open and it has no coverage. This road has trees and twists, you know. And there's just something about this road. As I agree. You know, I've always liked this road. You get on this road and it's just, you're pumped. It's like you get a slice of adrenaline. So I told him, I said, this road has a soul. Yeah, Laura's pulling at a good clip. I mean, it's like I'm at tempo. We're doing almost 25 miles an hour. I think I'm in a 53-16 ratio here. 53-16 here. Might be an 89 inch or 101, something like that. 101 inch gear. It was a nice clip, and we're rolling. A little bit, Laura's gonna pull off. I won't stay at the front very long. I'll pull for a little bit and get off. It's a big group. We get a lot of people that want to sit on the back. Laura pulls off here. I just hold the same pace she was holding.
Good job, Laura.
I don't sit up there very long. In a little bit, I'm going to pull off. The road's going up a bit. I'm keeping the effort the same. I'm right at sweet spot. I pull off here. Wave him up. So I see Paul. Paul wants me to be right in front of him, so it helps for me with these clips. But so I see him, and I'll go ahead and look, and we're both out of the line. We're waiting, so we can drift to the back.
My brother from another one.
That's Abby. That's Jesus. That's Erwin. Mike Barreras. Yeah, Mike joined us on the road. Try to get on this wheel. I'm in the same gear I was in when I was pulling. The road went up a little bit. I don't downshift. I just keep riding. Trying to avoid that rough pavement. Nothing's coming the other way. You see how I move? It's like I'm gliding. It's like I'm skating. I use my hips to move the bike so that it's like you glide across the road from the middle. Same thing Mike's doing. You don't need to turn. You just kind of slide over. So it's gradual and it's not sudden. It doesn't startle the other riders around you. Mike Barreras and I have the same shorts on. The Asos, gold and black. I love the Asos chamois. It's so lightweight and it moves with you when you're riding. This is a slight bump. What slight is like 5%, 5.9. And so I'm in a big gear. I'm just gonna go and stay on Mike's wheel. These guys are slowing down on the left here. See the line. We got into Honea quickly. So So quite a few of these guys, Jesus rides with, Jesus being one of them, he rides with Mo's group. Mo is out of town, he's in Italy for the summer. So they rode from their start, and when I got to our start, they were there. I think they started like at 6, so they started 30 minutes before our start time. So this is kind of a descent here. Paul is on my left. He's behind Mike here, but Mike's going to drift back over to the right. That's where the line is. I'm on Mike's wheel, so I just hold my position. I don't follow Mike across the road. Mike was moving over to avoid probably the ruts. And you have to ride like that. You can't just be riding over everything in your way. You got to save your wheels, you know, from getting beat up and having to true them and all that kind of stuff. That's Jesus on the right there, next to Mike. Road's starting to go up here, albeit gradual. It's going to stay on this kind of a false flat, and then a Leah drive is going to kick up. So you got to select your gears appropriately. Now's the time to push. I stand because it felt good. I don't want to downshift. Then I ended up shifting up.
good. Go. Go. Right. Go. Right turn. We just let everybody get on. I like it. Yeah. We were just letting everybody get on.
This is 2854. Going east.
I knew Juan would be there. There was no doubt. There was no doubt there.
This will take us to Old 105 and off the Sapp Road. Since they fixed this pavement, I took this way. Since they repaved this road and made this part of the shoulder wider than it used to be. It used to be really narrow. It doesn't stay wide the entire way, but when it does get smaller, it's not as small as it used to be. And the pavement being new and smooth, it's easier. So if we had gone on the overpass, that's where we would have been standing, where that car on the left is. This is Logan here. So it's the part I was talking about where the shoulder is smaller, but it's clean. It used to be a little smaller than that, if I remember correctly. It's a little piece, but I'll take it. The road's not that busy early in the morning. So when you're riding like this behind people, always soft pedal where you can, because you're going to get sucked along. As they slow down, I soft pedal, and then you drift a little to the right or left. So in this situation, I'm drifting to the right when necessary, but soft pedaling when I need to. But whoever's there was riding pretty steadily. I think Michael is pulling. Mike Bradbury is pulling. You see the watts fluctuate. They go to 50, then to 2 something. When the road goes up, you have to put a lot of watts to keep that speed. That's why it's jumping around. I think it might be Mike. Is that Mike? No, it's somebody else was pulling. I thought it was Mike. I think it's Peter. Yes, Peter. Peter got a third bottle behind his jersey on his neck because it's hot. I drink before I leave, and then I put 2 full bottles on my bike. That's usually good, especially early. The ride was fast. I mean, every time somebody listed, but I think it's Mike Bradbury is there now. 41 kids. We're doing about 25, almost 26. 26 miles an hour. And then when you feel a little bump, then the watch jumps to like 250. And now it's 0. But all of those little accelerations, they add up. If you haven't been training like that, it's hard on your engine. So remember that when you drive your car. These accelerations, you know, racing behind somebody, hitting the brakes is inefficient versus cruising. That's what they call highway miles when you're selling your car. Say highway miles are the best thing for the engine. Everybody wants to buy your car if you have more highway miles than city miles. City miles are hard on you. They're hard on the body too. So if you want to bug somebody and they say, "Oh, I'm 25," you say, "Oh, it must be city miles." They did that in Men in Black, and when Will Smith's character he asked his partner. He went back in time. I think it was Men in Black 3. He said, "How old are you?" He said, 39. That must be city miles. Will Smith's character said, "It must be city miles," meaning you look older than 39. So if somebody say you got city miles on you, you should take offense. You're like, them's fighting words. You tell them, be like Bugs Bunny, tell them, of course you realize that means war. So don't be going around telling people they got city miles on. We're going to be coming to the turn fairly soon, I think. I end up getting in the lane after checking to let Mike know because I think he wasn't sure. To make sure we don't go straight, because if we go straight, this will take you to Interstate 45. We don't want to go there. It's too busy and crowded. Loop, I think there's a Loop 336. Yeah, I get on the lane to let him know. You will see me motion to him because he looks back. He's not sure. There's a left turn. I tell him, you need to get over.
Left turn.
This is a 0105. So before, I guess, 0105 Road. We'll stay on it for about 1.5 kilometers, about a mile, maybe less than that. And then we'll turn around. So the start to slow down here, I end up just going through. Because it's like nobody wants to ride. Nobody wants to be at the front right now. Everybody's trying to sit back. Being sneaky. I don't care. The pace is okay. I'm feeling good, so I think I'm gonna go through. Mike is up there. He has a gap on us, so I go by, and I'm riding up to him. Just to keep us moving. This road has a lot of little bumps. Laura called one out. I had to thank her because it was one of those where the pavement just kind of, it's like a sinkhole, a small sinkhole in the pavement where there's no cracks, but it just has a dip and it's like a bowl. I hate to hit those. It's like the pavement just sinks in a small little circle. And if you don't see those, they can rattle you. You know, you can bounce your bars out of your hands. We're gonna be turning right. And we're turning. This road is called Sapp Road. There's somebody dropped some concrete in the corner here. That's what I was pointing at. You turn as a little grade, 3%. So that guy goes by and he says, "I don't know, tell me where to turn." I just ignored him. Of course we're going to tell you where to turn. Let's keep riding. Go through, take your cuts. I expected more people to come through. You know, Laura's been pulling already. She doesn't need to go through. The rest of these guys just sitting on the back. We've already ridden maybe what? 10 miles, I'm guessing. It's like, we hear me tell Paul, nobody wants to come through.
They sit on the back so they can attack.
He said they don't want to. Paul said they don't want to come through because they sit on the back so they can attack. I don't have time for that. When I come on a ride, I just want to ride. This is not a road race. So every time I'm on the bike, especially with the group, head and legs, I'm always thinking, okay, how do I feel? How far we're going? I gotta measure my effort. You always gotta do that. Especially those of you who are very competitive. You gotta use your head because you can be strong and lose the race. You can be the strongest rider, but if you don't use your smarts, you will lose the race to a craftier rider because it's all about timing. So you gotta pay attention because your body will change throughout the race. You feel great one moment, not so good, or you get caught unawares, and before you can get going, boom, that person got the advantage, or they've taken advantage of the situation. It's timing. Use your head. That's what the French say. Tête à jambe, head and legs. We're going to be turning right. This is Highway 105 coming up in the distance. So on 105, I'm not sure what was going on. You will see it develop. I mean, the camera probably wasn't there because we were further up. But anyway, there was a gap that developed somehow, and then we had to chase up to two riders who were not breaking away. They were just riding. It was Laura and, might have been Laura and Peter. I don't remember exactly. But somebody let a gap open, then we got to chase to close the gap. So by the time we closed the gap, the hill started. And I was thinking, man, this is, the timing's off. So I had to like back off, stay within myself, and catch back up to the group. The guy pulled off, he'd been pulling. I'm not sure who's in front of Laura. Laura's on somebody's wheel up there. But this, in a little bit, is where it happens. And I don't know if it's after because I'm on somebody else's wheel, and then I think they're on Michael's wheel, and then we have to chase up. And so right before a climb, you don't want to overexert yourself too much because then the climb starts and it's a long climb and you got to pace it. So I ended up backing off midway on the climb. I didn't stop. People come around me. I just kept riding. And by the time we got to the light, we were all back together. Because where we're going is called Longmire Road. There's a lot of ups and downs. And I think Mike Paredes said he hadn't been on that particular stretch of it. He's come this area with us. We've come here before, but we never completed the route to where we went to Longmire to turn left. We took 3083, which is the turn before that one. I think those are Michael's brakes. So here's where it happened. So now look at this. That's a gap. They're just riding away. So I just temper my effort. I just continue to ride. I'm not sure how this developed and why it happened, but they're not going any harder than they were going before. We just had such a huge gap. And so several riders are going to go around me. I believe Kenny and Mike are going to go around me. I'm going to get on Kenny's wheel. Because now we gotta expend a lot of energy. We end up doing like maybe 27 miles an hour to get up to them. They're in the distance. And as soon as we catch them, the hill begins. So it's those little efforts because of those unnecessary gaps that kind of waste your energy. You gotta watch for that. So we're doing 47K. I think we've gapped Champoussin here. Still have a bit of a gap up there. I don't think we're on a hill. We probably hit the hill. Yeah, we've hit the hill. I'm gonna back off and I think I'll pull to the side and it'll come around. Yeah, we still got a gap. So right about there, I think I'm gonna back off. Pretty soon these guys are gonna go around me because I've been doing like 400 watts for like the last 40 seconds or so. It's been a long time since I've pushed that hard for that long. So there I am on the right. I turn off the power, and as soon as they come around, then I'm gonna latch onto Paul's wheel. You'll see my watts stay around 2 something. So I'm sitting in the wheels and we're gonna regroup up there. We just gotta get back together. I mean, they're not that far ahead. But that's how you have to ride. Especially if it were a mountain pass, I wouldn't be riding on 500 watts. I'd drop the effort to like 250, maybe almost 3, and just stay in that range. Something more sustainable if you're doing a very long climb. The short bumps, yeah, you can do those big efforts where you're doing maybe 30 seconds or something like that. It's like a sprint, a long sprint. That's what I was talking about. It was like a road race. So now I'm behind Paul. I don't know if I come around him or not, maybe not here. But I want to make sure they know that we're going straight. Because this is where the last time we came out here, we ended up turning left up ahead, which was about a block too early. They sit up because they've been going hard for so long. It's like now it leveled off. I'm not even pedaling. So it was a good ride. We did a lot of good work. So whenever we get these guys from friends of friends or Mo's group, yeah, it's always very, very interesting. Not that our rides are, you know, just a little slightly lower tempo, but there's more attacks. You guys show up, everybody start flexing. So we're gonna bring more. There'll be more. As Paul Longa says, sit on them. I don't like to sit on them. It's like I'm crazy. I like to come around and ride my legs off. Somebody ended up riding in the grass. I saw them. I don't know if the camera picked it up. It was like, I don't know what happened. This is Laura in her climbing form. El Pirata. You saw how she looked before she moved over? Just a little, just a tilt of the head. That's why you have to hold your line. You see how Paul went on the right of somebody, Laura went on the left of somebody as they slowed down? So when you're in the group, before you change your line, you got to check. I let them know we're going straight. This is where we ended up making a left turn. One time we came out here, that's 3083. This one here, this is not the turn. I don't remember when I got up there anyway. I wanted to make sure that we went straight. I wanted us to ride Longmire Road. It's a nice, quiet road with a lot of lumps. In both directions, it's an interesting road to ride. East or west.
Come out down there somewhere. Oh, we passed through. Oh, that's right. We right. 2854. I forgot about 28.
I think Mike is thinking about the neighborhood street that we usually get on.
For 8 hours here today.
He said it lost power to my third world. I said, no, fourth world. Our grid is fourth world, not third world. We lose power on a sunny day.
I'm in third world, which is stable power. Fourth world.
I said fourth world because it's like it's really bad. It's like there'll be nothing going on. Our power just flickers. It's a substandard grid, and then they want to be off the national network because they don't want to meet the standards that the federal government has set. But then when crap happens, they want FEMA to step in. Please, can't have it both ways. So when you have this many riders, riding two abreast is the safest thing to do in this situation because you got 2 lanes. The cars can use one. You guys use one. And then nobody will come in your lane. Now we got a nice shoulder, so everybody get on the shoulder as a courtesy. You're not required to. A lot of other road users think you're required to ride to the right. You ride wherever you want. You have the right to use the road. They're ignorant of that. Ignorant of a lot of things. Jesse Ventura said, average Americans. The former governor, I think, of Minnesota. Jesse Ventura, Jesse the Body Ventura. See the road going up again. This route, man. I'm saving my energy. I ain't killing myself. I just let them go. I'm just riding. 300 some watts. Because I know there's more to come. So when the roads go like that, you see everybody, see Paul passing somebody, whatever. You stay within yourself. Find a tempo and ride. You need to ride at a sustainable pace. The longer the climb, the more conservative you need to be. And as you get into the climb, you can start doing more if you feel good. But when you just start the climb and it's not your forte, you got to check it out. I mean, look at that profile. We didn't play this. This ride was awesome. We got hills in our area. They may not be mountain ranges, but you'll feel them in your legs riding with these crazies, these maniacs from Mo's group and Friends of Friends. Now it looks like Roy. He's taking a little bit of a break there too. This is 105, nicely paved. I didn't realize they had done this resurfacing here. This is a good time to come on this road. 105 is a very busy road. It goes east and west between Interstate 45 to the west side of the area. It goes all the way, I believe, on the way to College Station. You even see it past Montgomery and all that. When we go to Taco Corner, we pass stretches of it. But you're going through different towns on this side. So this is Longmire Road we're going to be turning on. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but at the end of this road that we're turning on, Mike B said, "There's too much climbing." Everybody laughed. He says, "There's simply too much climbing." He always says that this favors the little guys. He always says, "The little guys, it's for the little guys." Yeah, I used to hate climbing. It's not my strength, but I tolerate it. You gotta be able to do it within reason. Got to be conservative. So if you look at where we are on the route, what that little yellow line is up top on the green route, you can see now we're really getting into the highest elevations of the route. You look at it visually on the screen. Look at the road. It starts to kick up. You feel it more than anything, and it changed out here drastically. Look in the distance how it's going just between those trees. You could just feel it. It's gonna level off, then a little bit will kick up. Look at the road. And watch the grade. It would just kick up. Now we end up stopping. It's like 8%, 9%, and we have to stop 13%. That was 13% before we stopped. And we go across. I think this is crossing 3083 here, which is the road that we had stopped on the other side. Now it's going up again. I like this road because it's lumpy and it's quiet. I mean, look at it. You got private homes, not too much in terms of businesses. You're going through somebody's neighborhood. It is Saturday morning, though. I'm not sure what it's like during the week. Yeah, these guys are too close to the white line. I I don't stay around there if there's a car coming. It's a slight descent and they're going to kick up again. Too many red lights. That was the thing. We hit too many red lights. Like 8.8%. We're at a red light. So Paul was shifting to a smaller ratio because he got caught in the wrong gear because this thing is a sudden stop. There was a car in the corner. I'm glad everybody stopped. So everybody did a good job. Nobody did anything crazy. I think this is 3083 that we're going across. Now look at the road. It's going to curve to the left and kick up. I think this is where it curves to the left, but you can see we're going up. It just gets there quickly, like 5%. It's just like you just feel it, and it just keeps going up. Kicks up again here. Kicks up here, it levels off, it's going to curve to the left where you see that car, then it's going to kick up again. This is up and down, up and ah, man. So you get good work on a road like this. As I said, especially with these maniacs we're riding with. Hammerheads. So what happens is this descent now is gonna go, it leads to another uphill in a little bit. When we hit that one, I think that's what Mike said. This is simply too much climbing. 25%. I'm in the proper ratio. I've been very conservative. That's why you didn't see me in the camera. I've been sitting in. And so now that it's hard, I have plenty I can go. I turn off the power because there's a red light again. It's like we're going to be stopping once we go across the red light. But I like this road. I will be visiting it very frequently. I need to work on it.
You ain't been out to Fredericksburg, have you? You ain't been to California, have you? I've been in some passes in Fredericksburg. Look like a slow pepper. Yes, sir. They've done that.
So we're going to be stopping at a store. That's the first stop. It's hot. It's like almost 25, 26 miles into the ride. But, you know, this is we needed to stop. We ended up adding another stop. We stopped at a boathouse. It's a good ride. So I don't know what you did on Saturday, but this is part of what we did. Get all the doctors fired. Keep those K's in.
I survived with the camera. Now,
I don't know how you
let's
did that.
put this thing away. And the